everybody. This is my Module 17, which is Data Protocol Analysis for our Data Analysis class. So first, I feel like these two steps need to be highlighted. At my school, Dodge City Middle School, this is the Data Protocol beginning steps that I would put into place. First, I believe that we need to take some time and observe what our problem is in the first place. We need to be able to look at whatever current data trends that we have access to and be able to each individually be able to brainstorm on what does it show. For this specific step, I feel like it would be best done individually, and the individual person, we would all have access to it all, and I feel like it's very important that individual people have time to observe through this data and ask those questions. What do our data trends show? And be able to think about this first before being able to meet with other people. Then I believe that individually, that each person should be able to create questions, and during this process, they could answer these two questions below. What questions does the data raise, and are there any pieces in this data that does not seem to fit, or one might not be like the others? Then, I feel like these could be done in our small groups. I'm thinking like during PLCs or during our big staff meetings where we go over data. I believe that when you create a goal, as shown over here, that it needs to be a SMART goal. This is how I have my students create their yearly goals. They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. I have some really nice worksheets that we usually use for SMART goals, and I would provide this with my staff so that way they have it as well. Then we need to be able to collect the data. We need to be able to collect data from multiple different facets like students, staffs, parents, and then our data needs to show multiple things like our demographics, student learning, and teaching strategies and curriculum audits. I feel like teaching strategies and curriculum audits is very important to be able to gather this from our staff so that way we can see if we are on the same page or not. Then we need to be able to analyze this data. We need to see where we're strong, where our strengths are, where's our weaknesses, and are there any gaps that we don't agree with, or how do we even close those gaps even if we do agree with them. Then we need to create a plan of action. We need to discuss it with our group to make sure that our plan of action is a shared vision throughout everyone so we do it with fidelity when it does happen. We need to have a clear and concise objective. We need to decide what we're going to do. What kind of evidence are we going to have to prove that everybody is doing it, as well as creating a timeline, and I have that sheet attached on the next slide. Then we need to be able to step back and evaluate what's going on. What at all is needed to make this plan of action happen? What can we do better next time? And I feel like, especially if it's a long-term goal for like the whole year, we need to be able to go to every PLC or go to every meeting and kind of just evaluate ourselves. What could we do better next time between right now and the next meeting to make sure that our goals are happening? We need to step back and be able to look at, do we need more time, or are we going to get it done faster than we thought we would? And of course, adjust our SMART goal as we go. Maybe for the first original goal, we realize it's not attainable, or it's no longer relevant to whatever is happening since we're in an ever-changing 21st century situation, or our curriculum has changed. Do we need to go back and adjust that SMART goal for it to make sense with what we're doing? And this is my plan of action sheet example. So before this module, I had specifically discussed having 2 to 3 goals in mind, not really less, not really more, just about 2 to 3. So I have listed 3 here. We would actually write down the SMART goal as used on a separate sheet to be able to plug it in here. Then we need to decide what the root cause was, because if we don't even know the root cause, then we're not necessarily going to be able to change much or stop it from happening again. Then specific steps to achieve our goal, and how are we going to specifically check for progress in the beginning, throughout the duration of us achieving that goal to the end of the goal. There we need to write down, especially in the beginning, where do we believe our evidence is going to be coming from, and then obviously a timeline of how long this goal is going to take us. And we can here in this column check in, as well as we're checking in over here to see if that goal is attainable in the amount of time that we have given it to.